The MCU's adaptations to some characters out there can be referred to as nothing other than dog water, nothing other than boo-boo, nothing other than horseshit. So today I want to go through 4 of the top characters that I want to see in an MCU reboot get redone and actually get the love that they deserve. Starting off with the person who's faced the most consequences for all the MCU changes, it's gotta be the Incredible Hulk. Or should I start calling this nigga the Incredible Folk, bro? Because this nigga is a folk tale, he's folklore at this point. The Incredible Hulk fell off harder than VHS tapes. When the Hulk first bursted on the scene, man, he was a menace, he was destroying literally everything. That fight between Hulk and Abomination, even though the movie sucked, is legendary. And now we have a Hulk that has a sweater on, that has glasses, that has gray hair, like, this is putrid. The Hulk should be one of the biggest menaces, should be one of the biggest badasses in the MCU always. He should never be succumbed down to this smart Hulk low that he's in right now. I am a personal mind that the Hulk is always the most interesting when he's smashing things, when he's uncontrollable, when they're trying to figure out how to control him. So what they have him doing right now is just not gonna do for me, brother. I think with a Secret Wars reboot has to come a reboot for the Incredible Hulk. I know Craven hasn't officially entered the MCU just yet, but he's technically in the Sonyverse, and they did him dirty. Not that Aaron Taylor Johnson didn't try his damnness, I mean he tried, but that script, everything about the movie was just awful. Sony, please scrap that Spider-Man verse. You guys suck at it. Just give Spider-Man back to Marvel. But seeing Craven in a proper Spider-Man movie as the villain in a more grounded approach could be insanely good in my opinion. And with the MCU about to tackle the Black Suit Spider-Man storyline, it would be perfect for them to use Craven, even if they didn't want him used as the main villain of a movie. If he was the secondary villain to the Venom movie, I wouldn't be mad at that. But Craven is a very interesting character. He's way too interesting for them to just leave on the back burner like they've been doing, bro. I talked about it briefly before, but I really do think we're gonna get a rebranded Taskmaster in the MCU at some point. Maybe not in the next like 2-3 years, because we're gonna be focused on mutants. But like maybe in 5 years when the mutants are like starting to get a little bit on the back burner again, I do think Taskmaster will be a perfect little villain to introduce again. I think a lot of people forget that Taskmaster and Spider-Man usually go hand to hand. So seeing Taskmaster in the Spider-Man movie would be pretty cool. I just want to see my dog Tony Masters actually done right in live action, man. What they did in Black Widow, they tried something new, I get it. But it was horrid. Give us his powers, his origins, the suit we know and love. Just bring back everything. If you want to make him a girl still, that's fine by me. I don't really care about that. Just do the character right this time. And speaking of doing the character right, Kang the Conqueror is going to be my 4th pick. I know this wasn't all on Marvel Studios. It wasn't all their fault. But let's be honest, they weren't doing the greatest approach to building Kang. Started off decent with them building him through Loki. But then you get to Ant-Man Quantumania and it's like, what are we even doing with this character? I get the whole point of the story was to see that variant lose so that he can come back a million times stronger in a Kang dynasty and probably take over the multiverse, and he probably would have been the one to create Battle World. But I'm gonna be honest, that story was just not working with the general public. I think that if they want to do the Kang storyline again down the line, maybe 10 years from now, once they go back into their cosmic era, fine by me, go ahead. But right now, maybe have him die in Doomsday or Secret Wars, and then let's not talk about Kang for a while, and then he can show back up at some point later. Because let's keep it a band. The MCU is gonna tackle the multiversal storyline once again. It probably won't be for like 10-15 years, but if it really goes for another 10-15 years, they're gonna tackle it again, and I think that's when they can do Kang right and do him justice. I'm sure there's a bunch of characters I didn't mention, because let's keep it a band. The MCU has butchered a bunch of their comic book characters. What do y'all think, man? Who would y'all like to see the MCU bring back, reboot, rebrand the character, and actually do right, and actually do justice? Let's talk about it in the comments down below, man, because you know we gotta talk about it. It's just a sample.